So, you're stuck in a hotel quarantine situation. You are a little bit frustrated. You've watched so many Netflix videos. You've been searching around YouTube, and for whatever reason, you found me. Good news. Today, we're going to be looking for little wins that will make your quarantine or your hotel situation a little bit more bearable. We'll be beginning with the easy wins. And with those easy wins, we'll hopefully gain some habits that we can apply to our lives when we're out of this quarantine situation. So we'll start off by doing some basic stretching and then some sort of mini functional fitness cardio type workouts. And we're going to try and do this in a limited space possible because that's the type of situation you're in. Recording? Okay. First thing we need is an elevated surface. For many of you, it could be a bed. If you're in somewhat of a suite situation, you might have a chair or a bench that's slightly elevated. We're going to start by stretching out our back. Typically, if we're in a hotel quarantine situation, we've done some type of long flight, so we're going to be a little bit stiff. To start this exercise, I want us to put our wrists over the elevated surface, get our knees back. Try and get about half a meter back, and our elbows are slightly blocked out. Then from there, I'm going to put my chin on my chest and I'm going to go down. I'm just going to let that hang down. Depending on our mobility level, we're going to try and get our bottom as close to our heels as possible and hold that position. Once we're here, we're going to hold, depending on our experience levels, anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. Then after that, we're going to feed to our hand like so. Again, we make this as smooth as possible, and when we get down, we're going to put that on the floor. We're going to hold for another 30 seconds. Always try and creep a few more centimeters where we can, and then go with the opposite hand. So once we've done this, staying on our knees, we're then going to elevate up like so, both arms, keeping our elbows blocked out and turning at the hips, okay? Turning at the hips. This is really good for our thoracic extension, and that can often get really tight on those long flights. Once we've done one to one side, we'll go the other. Typically, if you played sports growing up, cricket, baseball, or tennis, or just throwing a baseball, we're really good at turning from our right side, but struggle from our left. The main reason people go into old people's homes is because they lose that thoracic extension, thoracic mobility, and they're not able to go to the bathroom by themselves. So it's something we should always be practicing. Anyway, that's the first video. You'll see in the description how I do this workout. This can be as short or as long as we want, but this will be a good way just to give ourselves a little bit of relief. Thanks for watching. So, we're now going to do a little bit of strength training. Depending on our level, if we're pretty experienced, we can do this from the floor. So the main reason people use weights is because that creates time under tension. If we don't have weights, we can create our own tension by going slowly. So for example, first of all, I'd stretch my wrists, hold for 10 seconds, back and forth. Then from there, I put them in a position like so. I would then put my feet forward back, equal lining, and we're going to do negatives, okay? If you ever watch like prison workout videos and like they've got no type of fitness equipment but they're pretty jacked, often it's because they're doing these type of workouts in their prison cell. So keeping our abs tight, we're going to try and keep our chest over our arms. We're going to go slowly down, and we want to try and keep our elbows tucked in like so. If we flay them out, we might put a bit of pain on our lower back. From this position, we're going to do a 5-second negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up. Okay, some of us might not have the strength to come up, so if we need to just jimmy our way up, there's no problem, but always start from a locked out position at the top and 5 seconds down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work like so. Again, if we have the strength, we push ourselves up. If not, we jimmy ourselves up. We're going to do 5 reps, 5 seconds per rep. Then after that, we're going to rest for 30 seconds. So look at your phone. And then we are going to do some dips, or fondos, as they say in Spanish. What we're going to do is keep our chest really big, block out our elbows, and depending on our experience level, if we've got heaps of experience, we can go really far away, but if we're a bit more newer, we get close. And same theory applies. 5-second negative, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up, 5 times, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up, nice and slow. Again, this will be a way to get the blood flowing and to gain a little bit of strength while we're in this quarantine situation. So depending on our mobility level, we're just going to do a bit of stretching for our legs. So what I want to do is a slightly lower surface than what we were using before. So pretty much all of us will have chairs, and the chairs will typically be a bit lower than the bed. Okay, so what we do is we make sure our toes are pointing straight, then we're going to put our leg up. Everything's pointing straight, okay? Then we point our toes towards us, and we should feel it a little bit there on the calf. Then we're going to bend down at the knee, 2 hands, and just nice and slowly hold here for 10 seconds. 10, after 10 seconds, a little bit further, as we feel comfortable. Sometimes people are obsessed with touching their toes, and they can kind of exaggerate too much, but for the moment, just a position we're comfortable in. After that, this same foot is going to turn, going to face outwards, keeping this left leg not totally blocked out with a little bit of a flex, then going down. And then from there, we're going to hold for 20 seconds. I'll show you from this side, to repeat it with both feet, and you guys can see it more clearer here. We go down, again, based on our mobility, how far we can go. And we're going to hold there. Again, guys, these are just a few tricks to help us get the blood flowing and to stay mobile. So for this next one, you might need to move a bit of furniture around, but this will be the best way. Even if I wasn't in a quarantine hotel situation, these are some stretches that I always do. This will improve your squat, improve your posture, and it is definitely the recipe to having successful mobility. So first thing we need is a wall. As I said before, you might need to move some furniture. What we're going to try and do, and my recommendation, is start from the floor and get your bottom as close as we can. Depending on our mobility level, we want to be more or less as close as we can. Then from there, we go down. Imagine you're scuba diving, boom, down. Then from there, we're going to put our legs in a wide position like so. Again, pointing the toes. If I had less mobility, my bottom might be further away, and we can always inch a little bit wider than we think. My head is going to go down. I'm going to admire the roof of the hotel. Here there's like really nice wooden panels, which is kind of cool. And we're going to relax. If we've never ever done this, 30 seconds might be difficult. But for myself now, I could sit here for minutes and just kind of enjoy the stretch. And we have 4 positions. So this is position 1. Once you're feeling, I'd say the whole world, if we've never done this before, let's go for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, let's get our feet in a kind of conventional squat position, like so. And we're going to put our elbows into our knees and push them slightly out. Often, the leg we kick a football with, for an example, can often be a bit tighter, okay? And we're going to hold there, again, for 30 or 40 seconds. Then after that, we're going to turn one knee in, lift up the opposite one, our bottom comes off the floor, and push down. This one will really get us going. I'm going to hold there. Again, 30, 40 seconds. Opposite leg. And we at least practice those 4 positions. We at least practice those 4 positions for 3 or 4 rounds. My recommendation, if you've never done this before, start a running clock on 0 and just work through all those positions, and when we're finished, about 10 or 12 minutes. The next day, if we maintain in a hotel quarantine situation, same thing again, 2 or 3 minutes longer. And then if by the end of the hotel quarantine, let's say 7 or 8 days, you can do 20 or 25 minutes, you've seen a marked improvement. With this exercise, I often think like bang for our buck. You know what I mean? Like if you think of it as a stock market, this is something with a little time you invest, you'll get so much more results. You will get such a great return on your investment. Hey guys, we're going to make use of myself being on this floor here with the next video. So I want you to think you're in primary school. What's our posture? trying to get the teacher's attention. We're keeping a straight back. We're keeping our legs in a straight position. We're putting the weight in our calves. Depending on our mobility will be if this is hard or difficult. We're then going to point our toes out and back in. We're going to do that 10 times, nice and slowly. Nice and slowly. Remember, keeping our chest upright. I have to correct myself. Imagine you're almost like a puppet and there's like a main string in your head. Okay? And the main string is pulling your head up. So you're there. Once you've done that 10 times, you're now going to bring your heels in like so. Again, depending how often we do this, we often need to look at it as a challenge. Like, can I get a bit closer? Can I get a bit closer? Can I push down a bit further? Because if we're always just here, we're not going to improve that mobility of our groin predominantly. We're here, we push down, keeping our chest tight. So if we're thinking of our upper body, I kind of like to think of it as a bamboo. And imagine we're just like bambooing it. We're flexing that bamboo down. And we're using our elbows to push down on our knees. We're keeping upright. Again, as I mentioned in previous videos, one leg might feel a bit tighter than the other. But that's perfectly normal. After 30 or 40 seconds here, we are going to get the outside of our wrist, put our opposite hand behind us and stretch. Okay, our neck as well. And we're going to hold that anywhere from 30 seconds to 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Similar to our last video, my recommendation is having a running clock and just moving through all these movements. If you need to re-watch the video 2 or 3 times to do it, that's perfectly fine. Then we'll go back to that position 10 times, okay? Make it a game. Heel doesn't touch the floor. The floor is lava. Every time we touch it, something bad happens, and I just touched it. So let's see what happens. Okay, once we've done that, guys, I'd like to put this left knee, or as much as we can, depending on our mobility, behind ourselves, pointing our toes towards us and trying to touch our toe. Again, for some of us it might be here. We're just going to hold that position, opposite arm, toe. Hold anywhere from 15 to 20 seconds. Relax, repeat 2 or 3 times. Then the opposite. Behind, touching, hold. Again, guys, I've just done this as a snapshot, but all these little movements which I've just done, I'd extend anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and this would kind of be about a 12 to 15 minute stretch. Okay, guys, so we're just going to do some exercises now which are a bit more dynamic, which will kind of make us sweat a little bit. I'm just going to run you through what the workout would look like, and then below in the description you'll see what the workout is, and you guys can do it yourself. These workouts I do with my online community all the time, 3 days a week in person and with replays, but this is just to demonstrate what movements we would typically do. Okay, so first things I want to do, I often call it kind of like making butter. We're going to be pointing, I'll get a bit lower so you guys can see my feet clearly, pointing my toes like so, my hand behind my head like this. If we're a bit newer, we're more than welcome to put our hands beneath our bottom like so, and from there, we are going to do 30 seconds like this, up and down, nice and controlled. Nice and controlled, not touching the floor, nice and fluid. Trying to keep our head on the floor like so. When we've done 30 seconds, we finish. Then from there, we're doing a variation of the Viper sit-up. Often we call it an open and close. Okay, so how does that look like? I'm open, my arms and legs extending, and then I'm closing. I'm opening, I'm closing. If that's too difficult, we can keep our hands here, and what we're going to do is just touch our feet. We'll get them as close as we can. If we can't touch, no problem. Anything like this would be really cool. After that, we'll move to a conventional plank. If a plank is too difficult, we're welcome to go to our knees like so, but we want to try and keep our back straight, abs tight, core tight. If we've got like fairly decent level of fitness experience, try and make this a bit difficult for ourselves. Really exaggerate how tight the abs are, really put the glutes, your bottom, really make them tight like so, and make it more difficult. The biceps, control the breathing, and that will make it more challenging. So those 3 movements which I just explained, we would do that for 15 minutes. The first one, making butter, 30 seconds work, 30 seconds rest. The next activity, the open and closes, 30 seconds work, 30 seconds rest. and the third one would be the plank. So you're welcome to get a stopwatch and try that movement. Again, in my community, we do all these workouts together, and they're a lot of fun. And if you want more information, they're in the description. Anyway, guys, enjoy it and let me know how you get on. You.